everybody, welcome to my class. Today we are going to review the reported exercise, okay? But at the beginning, we are going to remember the topic of the last class, okay? So remember, yesterday we make a writing activity, okay? And what was the topic? That's right, yesterday we write a guide in order to go to any place, okay? So, what was the objective of our guide? That's right. Remember, we write the rules that the children and volunteer must and must not do into the place. Okay, that was the objective. Okay. As I said before, today we are going to review reported exercise. And what is the objective for today? To reinforce the knowledge of reported speech through exercise, okay? So today we are going to check the exercise that I have already sent you. Okay, so do you remember what is the structure in order to report questions? Do you remember the introductory sentence in order to report any sentence? Okay, so today we are going to review that in order to reinforce your knowledge. Okay, so pay attention. Yeah, here we have change this sentence to direct speech. Okay, here we have some examples. For example, Benjamin, I often have a big hamburger. I am going to report that. Benjamin says that I often have a big hamburger. Okay, so remember, you are going to use the introductory phrase. Usted va a utilizar la frase introductoria. In this case, the person who speaks, la persona que habla, Benjamin, says that. Remember, you can use that if you want or not. Okay, usted lo puede utilizar si quiere o no. It's up to you. And I often have a big hamburger. In order to report indirect speech, you are going to use the same words. Usted va a copiar las mismas palabras, but you have to use the quotations. Usted va a utilizar las quotations, okay? In order to report indirect speech. Okay, so that is the structure. Here we have another example of reported questions, okay? So pay attention. Example. Benjamin, do you have a big hamburger? I am going to report that. Benjamin asks me, do you have a big hamburger? Remember, we are reporting indirect speech, so the only part that you have to change is the introductory phrase, okay? In this case, I am using ask. Why? Because you are reporting a question, okay? So in order to report an affirmative or negative sentence, you are going to use says. And if you are going to report a question, you are going to use ask. Okay, that is the difference. And you have to copy the same. You are going to copy the exactly words. Usted copia las mismas palabras. That's right. And you have to use quotation marks. That is that I said before. Okay. We are going to do the first exercise. Hannah. They live in Boston. Okay. I am going to report indirect speech. So, Hannah says that they live in Boston, okay? Remember, I am reporting indirect speech, so I use quotations and I have to use the same words that the person says. Y estoy utilizando las mismas palabras que la persona dice. Ana dice que ellos viven en Boston. I am reporting that. We are going to do the next. Tyler. Ian doesn't invite girls to his parties, okay? That phrase says Tyler, okay? So I am going to report. Tyler says that Ian doesn't invite girls to his parties, okay? In this case, that is the same. I am at the beginning part, I am put the person who speak. The word says that and the same phrase, okay? The number 3, Dominique. Does she understand Japanese? I am going to report. Voy a reportarle yo lo que Dominique preguntó. In this case, I am going to use ask. Okay, so Dominique asks me, does she understand Japanese? So I have to copy the same in quotation marks, okay? The number 4, Sophia, where do you collect stickers? Okay, I am going to report. That is the same. Sophia asks me, where do you collect the stickers? Okay, I am copy the same. Estoy copiando lo mismo. Robert, when does he download the latest tunes? I am going to report that. Robert asks me, when does he download the latest tunes? Okay, so that is the same. Remember, in order to report any sentence, any phrase in direct speech, you have to use the introductory sentence and you have to copy the same words that the person says. Las mismas palabras que la persona dijo vamos a copiar with the quotation marks. Okay? We are going to see the next. Change this sentence to indirect speech. Okay, in this way we are going to review indirect speech. So pay attention. Benjamin, I often have a big hamburger. Okay, I am going to report what he says. Benjamin says that he often has a big hamburger. Okay, in this case I have to change the subject. En este caso tengo que cambiar el sujeto. ¿Por qué? Presta atención. Benjamín. Supongamos que soy Benjamín. Voy a decir, I often have a big hamburger. Ok, eso lo dijo Benjamín. And I am going to report. Y yo lo voy a reportar. Por lo tanto, Benjamín says that. Benjamín dice que él a veces tiene una gran hamburguesa. Ok, so I am reporting what another person says. Yo estoy reportando lo que otra persona me dijo. That is the objective of the speech. Ok, the reported speech. Ese es el objetivo del discurso. Ok, de reportar un discurso. Estoy diciendo lo que otra persona dijo. Ok, pay attention to the questions. Benjamin, do you have a big hamburger? He asked. Él preguntó. And I am going to report. Benjamin asked me if I have a big hamburger. Okay, in this case I have to change the subject because Benjamin pregunta, ¿tú tienes? Me está preguntando a mí, ok, y yo voy a reportar lo que él preguntó. Por lo tanto, Benjamin me pregunta si yo tengo, ok. So you have to pay attention to the questions. Usted tiene que poner atención to the questions, okay? And pay attention. In this case, I am using if. Benjamin asks me. That is the introductory phrase, remember? If, because the question is a yes-no question. Cuando nuestra pregunta empieza con un auxiliar do o does, I have to use if. I have a big hamburger, okay? And you are going to use the subject, the verb, and the complement. That's right? Okay, we are going to see the next one, okay? Hannah, they live in Boston. I am going to report. Voy a reportarlo, okay? In indirect way, okay? So Hannah says that they live in Boston, okay? In this case, I am using the same because I am asking about another person. So Anna says that they live in Boston, okay? That is simple. So remember, in indirect speech, you don't need to use quotation marks, okay? You don't have to use. In this case, Tyler, Ian does invite girls to his parties. Tyler says that Ian does invite her to his parties, okay? In this case, I don't have to change anything, okay? So that is correct. Dominique, does she understand Japanese? In this case, pay attention, that is a question, okay? So I am going to use introductory part with ask. Dominique asks me if she understands Japanese. Pay attention to the change. In this case, that is the same. My question starts with the auxiliary do or does, so I have to use if. Cuando la pregunta empieza con el auxiliar do or does, le cambio por if. She understands Japanese. Okay, in this case, I put an extra S because of the subject. Aquí le puse la S por el sujeto. Recuerde, for he, she, it, I have to put the extra S to the verb. Okay? We are going to see the next one. Sophia, where do you collect stickers? Okay, in this case, we are going to change some parts. Okay, so pay attention. Sophia asks me where I collect stickers. Okay? Remember, if your question starts with double H word, si su pregunta empieza con una double H word, remember where, when, what, which, why, you don't have to use if. No vamos a utilizar if. We are going to use the double H word. Vamos a utilizar en el lugar de if la palabra que tenemos en la pregunta. Okay? Sophia asks me where I collect stickers. So you have to pay attention to the question. Okay? Sofía me estaba preguntando a mí. Por lo tanto, yo voy a reportar la pregunta. Sofía me preguntó si yo colecciono stickers. Okay? And we are going to see the next one. Robert, when does he download the latest test? So I am going to report. Robert asks me when. In this case, I am using when because of the question. Okay? Where because of the question. If because of the auxiliary, does or do. Okay? Robert asks me when he downloads the latest tunes. Okay? In this case, I have to copy the same without quotation marks because the question is referring to another person. Roberto está preguntando, la pregunta de Roberto se refiere a otra persona. Por lo tanto, Roberto me pregunta cuándo él descarga. In this case, when he downloads, that is the same. I am speaking about he. I have to use an extra S to the verb. Okay, so when you don't use the auxiliary, when he downloads the latest tunes. And also you don't need to use the question mark. Okay, because I am not asking, I am reporting. Usted ya no utiliza el signo de pregunta porque usted ya no está preguntando, usted está reportando esa pregunta. Okay, that is all for today. So remember, in direct speech you are going to copy the exactly words and you are going to use quotations. In indirect speech you are going to change some parts of the sentence in order to report what another person says. Okay, and you don't need to use quotations. Okay, and that is all for today. So you can check your homework with my explanation, and remember we have to copy the question. That is the last part of the class. Okay, so we are going to copy the last questions. Okay, so we are going to do esta ya la hicimos. Choose true or false according to the reading. The sales meeting is at night. Okay, so sales meeting this afternoon at 12 noon. So look for in your dictionary what is the meaning of noon. That's right. Okay, so the sales meeting is at night. That is false. Okay. Choose true or false according to the reading. You can collect the pens this evening. Okay, that is in that part. So pay attention. Pens ready for collection between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Okay, that is related to the morning. So that is false. The question number 7. Choose true or false according to the reading. You must call Mario tomorrow morning. Okay, so that is in that part. Mario call. He wants you to call back before 7 p.m. Okay, so that is false because that is related to the evening. Okay, so that is false. And the last question. What must you do before 7 p.m.? Pay attention. You want you to call back before 7 p.m. So here you have the answer. So you have to call Mario. Okay, so that is the answer. So thank you, students. That is all for today. I hope that you have enjoyed the class. And that is all. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a nice day.